Okay, this will go on unspokenautography.com. What I'm going to talk about is interpersonal relationships. And I'm about to spill all the tea to y'all about my past 2 to 3 year relationship that y'all niggas know nothing about. So, where do I start? I learned a lot through this, and it led to, mixed in with my family issues, it led to, and mixed in with Sprint and T-Mobile where I was working, and we'll talk about that later. But all that mixed together, and my interpersonal relationship, it all led to my mental breakdown. So what had happened was, okay, I'm a bisexual male. People will argue, but I'm about 70% fucking gay. My ex-girlfriend would say 90%, but I think that's trauma. Cause I don't trust these hoes. So anyway, they scandalous. Oh, that's a whole nother story. We can talk about that later. So anyway, let me stay on point. So anyway, I'm on these gay apps and I meet a nigga. And what you need to know about this story is that in my sex life, I'm a pleaser. I like to cater to my mens. I like to cater to my man, and I don't have a problem with that. Destiny's Child taught me that. Beyonce taught me that. They have to deserve to be catered to, though. Okay, but anyway, this nigga was a whole meal. Y'all have heard of snacks. This nigga was a whole meal every fucking time. So, yeah, I was doing a damn thing. This nigga would show up at I didn't even have a car. This nigga would show up at my door at any time of the day or night, mainly night, and it was fucking on. But he didn't speak. He, didn't speak to me. He'd say what's up and stuff, but he didn't speak. But he was down. And, of course, he, sometimes he didn't have a car for whatever reason, and, he'd ask me to Uber him, or he'd ask to borrow money, and I grew to love this nigga, but it wasn't a lot of the money, so it's just I looked at it as loaning a friend a few dollars. But ultimately I realized that this nigga didn't pay me back. And it just became this whole thing where he was missing and lying to me. And I believed it because I grew to love this nigga over 1 to 2 years. But what I'm talking about is the course of our relationship. So, he promised me the world. Yeah, he promised me the absolute world every single fucking time. And I love that nigga, so I believed it. And, but he kept disappearing for longer and longer periods of time. Yeah. And he blocked me. And my thing is, if you can show up at my door whenever you want to, I can call you. So even if you block me, I'll just generate another number. Let's just be real. So you're going to talk to me. If you're going to stick your dick in my mouth on a regular basis, we're going to chat from time to time. End of fucking story. So, here's the thing. I am a polyamorous bisexual male. And first thing, I'm not trying to change no one into anything they're not. That being said, I accept all of who you are. And myself being a bisexual male, I understand that there are things about certain individuals, they only fulfill a particular type of need. And I don't have to marginalize my sexuality to cater to your fragile ego. Be secure in my relationship with you, as you are with me. But yeah, you can, if you like women and you're a guy that's with me, go fuck women. I don't fucking care. Because if that's what you need, that's just what you need. So anyway, I told that nigga that he could get a girlfriend. I don't fucking care. I didn't say that nigga could leave me for his girlfriend. So, but he had to edit that part out. But he was sneaking back. Of course. So, I don't know. It's about currency. It's about emotional investment. So, anyway, I was always left at a deficit because this nigga was always lying to me. But he was a full-ass meal, so I had to put up with it to get fed, okay? But that's still fucked up. So, let me talk about emotional currency. I spoke about this in another video. Emotional currency is currency. It's just like a bank. If you take my love for you or what I do for you, love is an action. If you take my love for you, my efforts, and lie to me to get them, I am left hurt at an emotional deficit. And my ladies can feel me on this. And that's some real shit. So if you take my emotional currency on false pretenses, on a false contract, if you lie to me, I'm not going to be, y'all aren't going to trick my minority ass being submissive in this instance. Y'all not going to trick my minority ass into giving up my power and calling me too sensitive and I need to be the bigger person and I need to let it go or I'm overreacting. No. This nigga stole from me and everything I did for him for a couple years. And then I couldn't find him. And then he show up again. And so then he tried to break up with me for this woman. Okay. So I'm left at this deficit. And I'm an emotional type of nigga. I'd have to be in tune with such a high frequency. So it's just like I was hurting for like a couple years. I mean, I get fed, but I was hurting. So he goes and gets his girlfriend and he's sneaking back to me on the Lola. But, of course, it gets longer and longer and longer. And I'm just like, nigga, what you doing? And then I didn't see him for three months. And I told y'all that nigga doesn't talk to me. So that nigga doesn't listen either. So if he had listened, he would have known where I worked and wouldn't have came in with his girlfriend on a double fucking date. Yeah. So what I did was I went to the back and waited for their food to come up and went out and served it to them. Oh my goodness, y'all. If y'all could have seen his face when I'm standing over that table. Y'all know what? First of all, before we get to that, when they walked in, she did a double take at me. And I don't know why. Okay, so anyway, if y'all could have seen how this nigga's head dropped when he realized that I was standing at his table, he looked at me, he looked at her, and his head dropped. He had the hat on. And my thing is, I'm not going to snitch on you, nigga, because I know how homophobic bitches can be. Bitches think they own dicks. Period. All because they can produce babies. No, bitch. Sex is for pleasure. Period. It's just like everyone doesn't have sex to produce a child. More sex goes on in this world for pleasure than it does to produce children. Okay? Oh, so anyway, Now, like before your judgment about what I do, it's like fuck your judgment and fuck your guy, because fuck you. I don't have to live by your standard, and you don't have the right to degrade me because I don't live like you, okay? I'm entitled to love because I give love, okay? Okay, so back to the story. So anyway, I didn't say anything because I'm never trying to out a nigga. If you down with me, you down with me. But I will be I will be respected first and foremost. So anyway, they left, but by this time I hadn't seen this nigga in like 3 months. And this is nigga I loved. Y'all have to understand. So I hadn't seen this nigga in 3 months. And I try to be patient with niggas because I know how it is not being accepted for who you are. And one of the things I want to point on that I learned is the more masculine you are, the harder the stigma is. Like, even if you have gay feelings and you're masculine, it's because gay is associated with being feminine and straight is associated with being masculine. And you can have masculine gay men and you can have feminine straight men. And that's the problem. Our society tries to fit people in these little boxes, and that's just not the fucking case. So anyway, I understand how difficult it is to be masculine and be judged for being gay. So I don't out niggas. Okay. But I will be respected. And if your greatest fear is me outing you after 2 years and you won't listen to me about how I feel, I will capitalize on that fear to get you to listen. But I'm a very fair person, so I would never blackmail anybody into doing anything. But I will make you sit down and listen to me, and you're going to treat me fairly or better you're going to reciprocate what I've given to you. That's the first thing. And it's not sexual. It's intimacy and it's love. Sex is the icing. It's intimacy and it's love. And